Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the real United States and welcome to downtown Washington, D.C. and the peak of the National Cherry Blossom Festival here in our nation's capital. You'll see behind me the lovely Yoshino cherries are in bloom. Now these cherries, there was originally about 1,000 of them. That were given to the United States by the nation of Japan as a gift. This was in 1912. Unfortunately, the first batch that showed up were diseased. And unfortunately, those trees need to be piled up and burned. Well, a short time later, the Japanese were kind enough to issue another larger grouping of full-grown trees. And the trees have grown here along the tidal basin here in Washington, D.C. ever since. Even during the period in World War II where relations were not good with Japan, the cherry blossoms have always been something that has been a symbol of the renewal of spring. And I think that today is the peak day, and pretty much everybody in America, I think, is here. I mean, it is absolutely packed. So we'd like to take you around, and we're going to try and show you some of the scenery as best we can of these lovely Yoshino cherry blossoms that are here. Now there are several other species, but that is the predominant species here. And there are about, now I understand, in excess of 3,000 cherry trees growing in and around the center of Washington, D.C., predominantly around the tidal basin. So come along and let's have a look at the rest of the blossoms here at the 2015 National Cherry Blossom Festival here in Washington, D.C. So the cherry trees that grow here in Washington, D.C. that are part of this National Cherry Festival are maintained year-round by the National Park Service. And there is a special cherry tree unit that specializes in nothing but the care, the trimming, the feeding, all the maintenance of the cherry trees. They're experts in this particular type of cherry, and they maintain it, and they also propagate it. You notice some of these smaller cherry trees behind me here are obviously much younger than some of the ones you've seen elsewhere in the video. Some of the ones earlier in the video are the original cherry trees from 1912. Well, these trees were actually propagated from cuttings. Saplings, or scions they're called, were cut from existing cherry trees, dipped in a rooting hormone, rooted, potted, nurtured, and when they were of a proper size, then they are set out. And this is a way of keeping the lineage of these original cherry trees going for all time. So I just thought that was kind of an interesting point, that we do have a specialty unit of the National Park Service that does nothing but maintain the cherry trees here in and around the basin and the National Mall here in Washington, D.C. So I'd like to thank you for joining us here on the Real United States. I hope you've enjoyed your visit here to the 2015 National Cherry Blossom Festival. If you haven't already, I encourage you to subscribe, come along for the adventure. If you got questions or comments, leave in the comment section below. I love hearing from all of you. I try to get back to everybody as soon as I possibly can. And as always, thank you for watching.